Hi everybody, I'm setting in my greenhouse, or what's going to be my greenhouse anyways. I have been spending a little bit of time drawing what I think my dream greenhouse might be. I've put together this video of the drawing process. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to take this video and I'm going to release a second version of it, much smaller and much more sped up. So for those who are just curious in seeing what I plan to do this summer, there'll be that version of it. Or if anybody's interested in actually seeing the drawing of it and what I'm thinking about, this version of it. So stay tuned. I hope you like it. As always, I would appreciate comments or suggestions in the comment area on what you think I should do different or what you like about it. And then, as usual, please like and subscribe to the channel. So enjoy. So as I mentioned, I'm going to use my T-square and I'm going to use this scale. Now I have another video out about how to design a backyard for bonsai and family, and in that I describe how to use that square. I'll put a link up top for that again, but for this video we will be using a 10:1 scale, meaning 1 inch on this scale will equal 10 feet in real life. So before I show you where I'm going to try and place the greenhouse in the backyard, let's review a couple of the preliminary drawings that we had to get us to this point. If you go back and watch the videos, you'll see how I did a scale drawing of the house, including the back deck. Now this deck was only 12 foot wide at the time, and I knew we wanted to expand it. So in the drawing, I doubled the size of it, and that point of the project is finished. Once that was finished, I needed to decide how we're going to move out here for sure. Now my idea on this drawing was to have a brick patio with a fire pit and then surrounded by shrubs. Now this idea and concept is still in play. So then once we moved from this drawing, we added a little bit of color to it. So we're still maintaining the deck, the patio ideas, and I'm still going to incorporate the tree idea. This is still going to be the garden area, and in this one I drew the utility shed with the idea of maybe being a greenhouse, and then the bonsai area is still going to be in here. So now this is a drawing of how the deck actually came out. I doubled the size of the deck. I ended up putting 2 sets of stairs off the deck, and I had enough material left over that I built an additional landing down here. I'm going to set the greenhouse in this general location. The fire pit remains, and the brick patio remains. We'll still have the bonsai area here, still have a slight area for gardening back here, and the kids' play area is still open. This is a T-square. This will hook on the edge of the table, and then I can slide it up and down on that edge, and it's going to always give me a nice, straight, horizontal line across the paper. Next thing we'll use for vertical lines, I'm going to use this triangle. Now this triangle is going to have a 60-degree angle on it so that I will be able to, when I draw this greenhouse, it's going to actually kind of be a 3D representation of it. The next thing you'll need is a good drawing pencil. I like these that have the click on it to where you can extend the lead out when you used to. You don't have to have a Hello Kitty pencil, but it does help. I have already drawn a horizontal line across the page. So next thing I'm going to do is take my triangle and I am going to make a vertical line. Okay, so I have a horizontal line and now I have a vertical line. So I'm going to take my triangle and I'm just going to lay it and meet these corners up, and then I'm just going to throw a line back into the distance there. I know that what I'm drawing here is going to be the north side of the greenhouse, and that is going to be 24 feet long. So I'm going to take my my scale. The 2-inch mark will be 20 feet. There's 25. There's 26. I'm going to put a mark right there. So then what that tells me is the back side, or the back edge. Now, I chose this distance because I think the building material that I will use the 4x8 sheets, if I use those sheets standing up, it should come out right. So those 4x8 sheets that I want to use, if I put that 4x8 standing up on the bottom, it would only come up 8 feet. And I want it to be a little taller than that. So what my plan is, I'm going to build a stem wall of sorts that's going to be 2 feet tall. It's going to be 2 feet tall, and that's what I'm going to set the rest of the greenhouse on top of. Now what I'm going to do is take my triangle, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to line that right up on that corner. Take it out to the distance. This one's going to come up. And now that I know this is going to be 16 feet on this end, go to the 16 mark. That is going to show me the end of the greenhouse. I'm going to use the material, and those 4x8 sheets will stand up. So I have 2 feet here and then an 8-foot sheet. So that's going to give me a 10 foot to the top of the wall. So all I have to do is throw my scale back on this corner again, 10 feet or 1 inch. Line that up. Flip the triangle over. There, now you can see how that's starting to box itself in, right? So I'm gonna need to draw a peak onto this roof. Now I know that this is 16 feet, and half of that, half of 16 is 8. Come down here, I'm gonna find the 8 mark. If I meet up with that line, that dot, and just draw a line up, that's gonna give me the middle part of the building. I want this to be relatively a flat roof, a slight peak on it. So what I'm going to do for this drawing is I'm going to see what it would be like if this ridge came up 3 feet. I can meet up with that mark, draw it through there. That's going to tell me where the top ridge of this greenhouse will be. So we have this corner, we know where this corner is, and we know where that intersection, that ridge line is going to be. So what we'll just do here is we'll take our triangle. Basically what we're just looking for is a straight edge. And we're gonna find this point and this point. Now this is gonna have some overhang. So I'm gonna draw this line through that intersection. So I'm gonna line up my pencil, line up that intersection, and just draw through it. Now we know that the building is gonna be 24 feet long. So we'll just throw our square down here again. Find 24, line up on there, so we now know where that mark is, where that point is. And then that is also going to give us our ridge, or our roof line. And we'll draw through the intersection, right? Same thing. Here we know where this point is, and we know where that point is. So we're going to line those up and draw through that intersection. That tells us what that line is, and there's going to be a line back here too, because you got to have the back side of the roof. We'll draw through there. 24 feet goes there, and a dot. Now this is going to give us this edge of the roof. All right, can you see the building? Okay, I've had a few minute break to fix something. Out of curiosity, if you saw what my mistake was that I had to go back and fix, hint, hint, let me know in the comments. Basically, I mismeasured. Put the doors in the middle, so half of 24 is 12. I'm going to take my triangle that I'm going to use as my vertical. So I'm going to draw this door as like a 2.5 foot door. At this point, I know where the middle is. I know 1 foot, 2 foot, and then I'm just going to put a mark right in about the middle. And so there's 2 foot that way and about half. So I'm going to put a mark right there. My vertical keeps everything parallel. Find the dot, draw up, find the dot, draw up. I think this is going to be like a 6 foot door. I think maybe they come in 7s. Make sure that these lines are perpendicular to each other. And there's a rough in for a door. Now this is going to be facing to the north. I'm going to want to open some windows so that I can get some air to blow through the greenhouse. I'm going to draw it so that the top line of the window and the door match. So there would be the windows on the north side of the building. Now I want windows also, a window on what would be the west side. So what I'm looking at here is the plywood sheeting for this side of the building and for this half of the end of the building. And I should have mentioned that before. I'm interested in having a greenhouse, but I'm not interested in breaking the bank on trying to heat it. So the north side of the building is going to have a solid roof on it, and it's going to have sheeting around the outside of it. And what I'm really hoping for is to make a stronger building and something that's a little more weatherproof on this side. On this side, this will be polycarbonate. The roof will be polycarbonate, and so will the sides. And we'll get to that next. So I'm going to throw a window in here real fast. So we know that this is going to be polycarbonate, so you're going to be able to see through this. So for fun, and we know that all these lines are going to be perpendicular to everywhere, and this is a square building. So we're going to have a stem wall that you'll probably be able to see through that building going this way. Okay, so now we're looking inside the building. So I said that those polycarbonate sheets are going to be 4 by 8, and this is an 8-foot section, and it's going to they're going to be standing upright. So somewhere around 4 foot, there's going to have to be a seam in there, and that was going to sit on top of the stem wall, and it's going to go all the way to the top, to the roof. Okay, so now that's going to represent 2 sheets of polycarbonate. Let's show the polycarbonate sheets on the roof. And we'd repeat that. We're going to go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Okay, so now this is going to represent the polycarbonate sheets that will be on top of the building. Okay, so in general we have our building drawn. I think we have everything, seems to be fairly square. Let's do this part now. We're going to go in here and we're going to take our Sharpie, and I promise you I'm going to mess something up and start cussing. So we've got what I would say the northwest view of this building drawn. What we're going to do now is draw the other side. We're going to turn it to where we can look at the side of the building with the polycarbonate side. Alright, so this stage of the drawing is completed. I had a little color on this one. I spent the afternoon today with my brother. He is a draftsman and he is helping me now draw this out on the computer so that all the material comes out right. And if anybody's watching this that's a builder, you've probably pointed out a lot of things that are like, well, that's not really right how you build it or whatever. Well, those are the types of things that he's helping me determine. This video is finished for now, and we will work on that next step. And then I will start trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay for this thing. I'm really excited. We have a lot of bonsai coming up. Please hit the subscribe button, and I'm sure we will be repotting bonsai before we know it. Take care, everybody.